Yeah, in this video, I just want to talk about Karl Benz, who's the man who's mostly recognized as inventing the automobile or the car. But he was not the only one who contributed to this invention. And it says here, working out who invented the car is a long and winding road, and pinpointing a single person responsible is not a simple matter. If you rewind the development of cars past GPS, past anti-lock brakes and automatic transmissions, and even past the Model T by Ford, who I'm going to talk about later, eventually you'll get to the Benz motor car number one, the missing link between cars and horse-drawn buggies. So Karl Benz painted the three-wheeled motor car known as the motor wagon in 1886. It was the first true modern automobile, meaning Benz is most often identified as the man who invented the car. Benz also patented his own throttle system, spark plugs, gear shifters, a water radiator, a carburetor, and other fundamentals to the automobile. Benz eventually built a car company that still exists today as the Daimler Group. We generally think of the 1886 Benz patent motor wagon as the first proper car. Tom Standard, author of A Brief History of Motion, From the Wheel to the Car to What Comes Next, told all about History magazine. Standard said that Benz used bicycle parts to build a vehicle around an internal combustion engine, also known as ICE. Its innovation required lots of people to try different things, and although this seems obvious in retrospect, it wasn't at the time, he said. So that was Karl Benz's contribution to the invention of the car. But someone also contributed was Rudolf Diesel. Rudolf Diesel was a German, and as you can tell from his surname, he's the one that invented the diesel engine. And both my two cars, this one and the other one, they've got diesel engines. So on September 29, 1913, Rudolf Diesel, inventor of the engine that bears his name, disappeared from the steamship Dresden while traveling from Antwerp, Belgium, to Harwich, in England. On October 10, a Belgian sailor aboard a North Sea steamer spotted a body floating in the water. Upon further investigation, it turned out that the body was Diesel's. There was and remains a great deal of mystery surrounding his death. Now, I've watched a documentary about Rudolf Diesel, and I've read not a lot about him. But what I understand is that being German, remember that so 1913. The First World War was just about to start. This is so he was murdered on the 29th of September 1913. The First World War started in 1914, and being German, he was going to England, and the reason for going to England was to attend the groundbreaking diesel engine plant that was going to be erected there, and to meet with the British Navy about installing his engine on their submarines. So obviously the Germans didn't want that, because the Germans were going to fight with the British in World War One. So conspiracy theories began to fly almost immediately. They said that inventor was thrown into the sea to stop sale of patents to British government, and I believe that's the reason why he was murdered. But the official narrative is that he committed suicide. Why would he commit suicide when he was about to make a lot of money? He had also lost a lot of money, yes, but he was about to make a lot of money by selling his invention to the English. So I don't believe he committed suicide. I believe he was murdered. And someone else who contributed to the car was Henry Ford, a Freemason and founder of Ford Motor Company. He said the only true test of values, either of men or of things, is that of their ability to make the world a better place in which to live. So this is why I'm sharing all this about all these men, and there are also women as well, obviously, who have contributed to making life better for us here on this earth. So Henry Ford is famously quoted as saying, "Any customer can have a car painted any color that he wants, so long as it is black. This statement reflects Ford's decision to produce the Model T in black, primarily due to the faster drying time of black paint and the efficiency it brought to the assembly line. While the quote is commonly paraphrased as "you can have any color you want as long as it's black," the original context was about limiting color options to black to streamline production and reduce costs. Henry Ford has changed the way of life for many people with his vision to make owning a car both practical and affordable. Uh, this video I wanted to mainly talk about Carl Benz, but yeah, we have cars today, and the cars have enable us to go to work, to go to church, to go and do shopping, to go and have whatever different appointments we have. But most importantly, all these things that have been invented, we're supposed to use them to spread God's word. And Henry Ford was also behind the moving assembly line and mass production techniques that he developed. He set the standard for worldwide industrial practice in the first half of the 20th century. So all these men that I'm talking about, that I in my opinion, should be amongst the 12 most influential men who made history. I'm talking about them because they not only made life easier for us, or life better for us, but they made communication better for us. They made travel easier for us, and like I said, but most importantly, the spreading of God's word, because it says in the Holy Scriptures that when the gospel goes all over the world, then the end shall come. So, and some of these men were not necessarily perfect, and some of them were not even Christian. For instance, Henry Ford is known to have been a Freemason, but still, his contributions have made a difference and made life better for us here on this earth.